Elon Musk is accused of promoting anti-Semitism after agreeing with a post that claimed Jewish people have been pushing hatred against whites. Indian-origin Wall Street analyst, fired for telling Jewish American to go back to your country. Biden says Hamas is committing war crimes by storing weapons in tunnels Gaza hospital, and insists the two-state solution will be the outcome of the Israel conflict. Germany suggests UN take control in Gaza. After Israel-Hamas war ends, 100 officers deployed after Trudeau surrounded at Vancouver restaurant. Protesters confront Trudeau in Vancouver, call for ceasefire in Israel-Hamas war. Woods McIlroy TGL virtual golf venue has been damaged in roof collapse. Neymar is accused of hidden work by his domestic worker, which demands almost $2 million.
Ferrero Group, the company behind Nutella and Ferrero Rocher, to stop growing hazelnuts in Australia. A becomes the first Big Four accountant to appoint a female chief executive. Unionized baristas of the Starbucks plan the largest ever strike for Red Cup Day. Number of Australians enrolled in bachelor degrees falls by 12% in less than a decade. New Zealand posts biggest population jump in more than 30 years. Toronto is one of the loneliest places in Canada, according to a new report. India's Sasa Electronics, to start assembling Russian drones in March 2024, claims company CEO. Pentagon fails its financial audit for the sixth straight year. Average home price in Canada rises to $656,625 as monthly sales slow, reported by CREA. Fintechs push Mexico interest rates to 15% in battle for savers. Australia scraps 50 road, rail projects to cut costs.
Showtime is officially shutting down Showtime Anytime service. Lord of the Rings owner Embracer boosts net sales by 13% in Q2 thanks to intensive restructuring. NYC Mayor Eric Adams breaks ground on $275 million TV and film production studio in Queens, post-Hollywood strikes. Mad Magazine documentary in the works, from R.J. Cutler's banner. Shadow and Bone, Glamorous and Agent Elvis among 5 series cancelled by Netflix, amid strike impact. In South Park streaming rights standoff, judge rules against Warner Brothers on some claims in licensing battle.
Hunter Biden lawyers seek subpoenas for Trump's former Attorney General Barr in gun case. Trump whistleblower Yevgeny Vindman runs for House seat, offering to fight union leader was just Oklahoma values, senator claims.
Czech government freezes Russian state's real estate assets. Kremlin says Czech Republic's freezing of Russian state assets is illegal. From Ireland, Ukrainians going back home for Christmas must return before January 5 or lose shelter. IAEA demands Russians allow them to take part in emergency exercise at Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
Iran tells Hamas it will not enter the war with Israel. Hamas agrees to tentative deal to free dozens of hostages, pending Israel's approval. Christmas display in Bethlehem is cancelled by Palestinian authorities in honor of Hamas martyrs as Israel continues to battle terrorists in Gaza. Record 70% of Bitcoin supply lies dormant for a year or more. German bank Commerzbank AG received Bitcoin custody license to promote crypto and green lights crypto custody operations. Binance to open Thai crypto exchange with billionaire Sarit. A suspect in the 1994 Rwanda genocide goes on trial in Paris after a decades-long investigation. French court issues arrest warrant for Bashar al-Assad for complicity in war crimes.
Manchester City post Premier League record revenue of £712.8 million British pounds. Manchester United's CEO Richard Arnold will leave the club as of December 2023, following Sir Jim Ratcliffe's £1 and 30 investment, as Patrick Stewart takes the job on interim basis. NBA suspends Draymond Green 5 games for putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold.
Colorado hiker Rich Moore's Jack Russell, Finney, survived off chipmunks and insects while guarding his body for nearly 3 months in mountains, as the loyal dog lost half her body weight after surviving 10 weeks next to owner who died in Colorado mountains, rescuer says. iPhone 15 wireless charging, apparently broken in many GM cars, with iOS 17.1. In Australia, Hungry Jack's Big Jack not deceptively similar to McDonald's Big Mac and Burger case, court finds.
TikTok triggers positive emotions during onboarding and strengthens the emotional bond with increasing usage. Emotion data based on facial coding shows that TikTok users get emotionally aroused. A positive and relaxed mood triggers further usage time. More Americans are getting news on TikTok, bucking the trend seen on most other social media sites. Both leader-affiliative humor and leader-aggressive humor did not directly affect workplace ostracism. Leader-affiliative humor improved workplace ostracism, first through leader-member exchange, and then supervisor ostracism. Leader-aggressive humor exacerbates workplace ostracism, indirectly through supervisor ostracism. Leader-aggressive humor exerted a higher effect on workplace ostracism than did leader-affiliative humor.
Psychostimulants prescribed to children for ADHD, following distal radius fractures, significantly reduce bone density as a function of duration. In Canada, men are more physically active than women. Risk factors can disadvantage certain groups, as per StatCan. In South Africa, National Assembly gives private cannabis bill green light.
UK sugar tax linked to fall in child hospital admissions for tooth extraction. Common pesticides in food reducing sperm count worldwide, study says. UK health experts recommend chickenpox vaccine for kids for the first time. Caserpunk, an alternate history World War I era city builder grand strategy game has been announced by IGN. Roblox faces class action suit from parents about sexual content and grooming. Persona 6, Persona 5X, and Persona ASA release schedule revealed by new leak.
Volkswagen CEO says €20,000 price tag DV could come in second half of decade. General Motors acquires key Tesla supplier TEI, and gigacasting push, said in a report. New York intends to have electric air taxis as of 2025. Legendary Jaws poster artist Roger Castell has passed away. Jeremy Renner runs uphill for the first time in video, celebrating 10 months of recovery since snowplow accident. Children and Family Emmy Awards to honor Optimus Prime voice actor Peter Cullen.
Destin Daniel Cretton departs as director on Avengers, The Kang Dynasty, remains aboard Wonder Man, Shang-Chi 2 and others in MCU. James Cameron's 4K Aliens The Abyss and True Lies finally get digital and Blu-ray release dates. Superman, Legacy sets Maria Gabriela de Faria to play villain role of the engineer.
F1 bans 3 key colors from Sphere during Vegas GP action, as Sphere to show F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix real-time pole position, driver helmets on Exosphere. IndyCar moves to terminate pair of gaming licenses with motorsport games. Joja Zakurzewski banned for 12 months for using car and race. In the UK, Supreme Court rules government's flagship Rwanda policy is unlawful. Rishi Sunak vows emergency legislation after Rwanda ruling. And Rishi Sunak announces emergency legislation to deem Rwanda a safe country, so that flights filled with asylum seekers will go ahead, and vows to scrap international human rights rules if foreign courts object. In Malaysia, Ijma Ulama Council calls for Coldplay's concert to be cancelled. Apple's China ties under congressional scrutiny after Jon Stewart cancellation. Gwyneth Paltrow's ski accident trial has inspired a London musical.
SpaceX receives FAA approval for the second Starship launch from South Texas, Japan's iSpace, to launch the second moon mission after crash. Mars probe sees red planet atmosphere glowing green at night. 16 of November, 2023, status YouTube weekly top songs, Standing Next to You, Jungkook, Now and Then, The Beatles, Segin Kien, Maluma, Corinne Leon, Si No Estás, Inigo Quintero, Chalia, Arijit Singh, Shilpa Rao.
Philippine GDP to grow close to 6 to 7% target in 2023, Marcos says. Pakistan wins initial IMF deal for $700 million payout. Standard Chartered admits Iran manipulation, will pay fine of almost $43 million. U.S. makes the biggest seizure of knockoff luxury items, valued at $1 billion. Major oil companies' carbon capture plans, dubbed a dangerous delusion. Climate plans only reduce emissions by 2% instead of 43%, says in a report. Also, it has been said, capturing COP28 chief soil farm emissions would take centuries. 3,000 years of carbon monoxide records show the positive impact of global intervention in the 1980s. Startup executive quits, says generative AI is exploiting creators. Microsoft aims to tailor everything from silicon to service to meet AI demand. Microsoft's new Maya 100 AI accelerator will power some of the largest internal AI workloads running on Microsoft Azure. Bing Chat is now Microsoft Copilot in potentially confusing rebranding move.
Taiwan candidate says he still hates the party he'll run with. Bangladesh to hold elections in January, as Hasina seeks fourth term. Biden calls Xi dictator, hours after first meeting in a year. She says, China will not fight hot or cold war. Earth is big enough for US and China to succeed, she says as he meets Biden. She told Biden Taiwan is biggest, most dangerous issue in bilateral ties.